أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ نجيناكم من آل فرعون يسومونكم سوء العذاب يذبحون أبناءكم ويستحيون نساءكم وفي ذلكم بلاء من ربكم عظيم وإذ فرقنا بكم البحر فأنجيناكم وأغرقنا آل فرعون وأنتم تنظرون صدق الله العظيم. The tafsir of these ayat. और जब छुड़ाया हमने तुमको फिरौन के लोगों से, वो तुमको देता था बहुत शदीद तकलीफ। युज़ब्बिहून अबनाअकुम, तुम्हारे बेटों को ज़िबह करता, व यस्तहय्यून निसाअकुम, तुम्हारी औरतों को छोड़ देता, व फ़ी ज़ालिकुम बलाउन मिन रब्बिकुम अज़ीम, ये तुम्हारे ऊपर बहुत बड़ी बला थी तुम्हारे रब की तरफ से। व इज़ फ़रक़ना बिकुमुल बहरा, और हमने जब चीरा तुम्हारे पीटने के साथ दरिया, जब दरिया को अल्लाह ताला ने चीर दिया, फ़अनजयनाकुम, तुम्हें निकाल दिया, अग़रक़ना आला फ़िरऔन, फ़िरऔन को उसकी कौम को डुबो दिया और तुम देख रहे थे, और तुम तंज़ुरून। Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us in these ayat the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam's nation. What happened with them? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying to Bani Israel, how we saved you from his Fir'aun used to give you very severe pain. What he used to do? يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ, used to slaughter your boys. وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَكُمْ, and he used to let go of your ladies. وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَاءٌ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ عَظِيمٌ, and it was, he used to let go of the baby girls, and he used to slaughter the baby boys, and this was a big bala, a trial from your Lord. وَإِذْ فَرَقْنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرَ, when we opened up this al-bahr, which is the sea, فَأَنْجَيْنَاكُمْ, so we saved you, وَأَغْرَقْنَا آلَ فِرْعَوْنَ, and we drowned Fir'aun and his people, and you were watching. This is the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, very famous story when Musa alayhi salam, many points in the Quran we will see, we'll come across what happened with the Musa alayhi salam's nation. Question is, why the story of Musa alayhi salam is being mentioned to us in every juz in the Quran except the fifth one. Every juz tells us the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the reason is this, because a lot of times, a lot of thinks this ummah will do like the Qawm Bani Israel, these people. So the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam is being repeated in the whole Quran, every juz, except the fifth one. If you would notice, every juz tells us the story. Allah keeps on bringing the story of Hazrat Musa alayhi salam and his people and Bani Israel. Allah Ta'ala हर सूरत, हर पारे में मूसा अलैहि सलाम की कहानी लेकर आते हैं, और सिवाय 5वें पारे के हर पारे में आपको नजर आएगा मूसा अलैहि सलाम की कहानी. What is the reason? On one side, Allah is saying, وَفَضَّلْتُكُمْ, like we just now read a few days ago, فَضَّلْتُكُمْ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ, we give you superiority over the rest of the nations, but Israel. कि अल्लाह ताला जो है ना इतनी ऊंचा मुकाम दे रहे हैं बनी इसराइल को. Now and then he is at the same, then some ayat speaks about what this Bani Israel did. And it comes in the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, أَنَّمْ تَتَّبِعُونَ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيل, you will follow Bani Israel. حَذْوَ النَّعْلِ بِالنَّعْلِ, like how you follow the footsteps. तुम बनी इसराइल को ऐसे फॉलो करोगे जैसे उनके नक्शे कदम पे चलोगे. You will follow Bani Israel like to a degree that how somebody walks in front of you in the desert, and you put your foot uh, on the foot of Bani Israel. So in the same manner, what would happen is this, that you would also do the same thing what the Bani Israel did. حتى إذا دخل في جحر, even to the extent if a Bani Israel, if a person, the Bani Israel, he went into the hole, you would also go into that hole. And to an extent, if he did evil act with his mother, you would also do the same thing with your mother, what this Bani Israel did. So that is the reason the story of Bani Israel is mentioned in the Quran a lot of times. And the Ummah of Muhammad is actually doing the same things what the Bani Israelis did, and they become so much, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's anger also descended upon them. Ummah Muhammadiyah is also doing those same things what the Bani Israel did. But because of the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu Rasulullah sallallahu made dua, 3 duas. So because of that dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is still saving this ummah of Rasulullah sallallahu to catch fish on Saturday. Is a sin for Bani Israel, but it's not, instead of catching the fish on Saturday, they were catching it on Sunday, with a little detour. Because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala turned them into kunu qiradatan khasi'in, they turned them into monkeys. Today, the Muslim Ummah does a lot of things bigger than that, but they don't turn into monkeys and donkeys and swines. Because of the dua of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and because of this dua, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not turning them into that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then He tells us, we have to first ponder. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that first He's saying, وَإِذْ نَجَّيْنَاكُم مِّنْ آلِ فِرْعَوْنَ, that we saved you from Fir'aun. Fir'aun means, how did Bani Israel ended up in Egypt? Today we read this in the Quran, in Surah Yusuf, when Bani Israel belongs to 12 nations, and these 12 nations are 12 brothers of Yusuf alayhi salam. Yusuf alayhi salam and 11. According to some, Yusuf alayhi salam did not had a child. He did not have a child actually. And some say he did have a child, it was a girl. And the rest were boys. And the reason was, they say, actually it's a, pata kehna chahiye nahi. I mean, what happened was, because this is a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when his, the Quran says that when you will enter into the, what do you call, when you enter into Yusuf alayhi salam, first, what happened was all of them, they did sajda. 10 brothers, 10 brothers, mother and father, or 11 of them, they did sajda to Yusuf alayhi salam. Did sajda. And the Quran says that he was sitting, he had a throne. Yusuf alayhi salam was sitting on the throne. And when they came, this was called Sajda Ta'zimi. Sajda Ta'zimi means Sajda for respect. فخر أبوي على العرش وخروا له ساجدا وقال يا أبت هذا تأويل رؤياي من قبل قد جعلها ربي حقا. So what happened? فلما دخلوا على يوسف آوى إليه أبويه وقال ادخلوا مصر إن شاء الله آمين ورفع أبويه على العرش وخروا له سجدا. So they entered in. It was their custom that they would do. It was the sijda for respect. So his parents, Yusuf alayhi salam's actual mother had passed away, and in those times in the Shariat of them, it was allowed to marry the sisters. So Yusuf alayhi salam married Yaqub alayhi salam married two sisters, and Yusuf alayhi salam's mother passed away, and the other mother was the other wife of Yaqub alayhi salam was the aunt of Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam, Khala thi unki, and she was the aunt, and Yaqub alayhi salam had married her both at the same time, and then from one sister they kept on getting boy after boy after boy, and from the other there was no child to be born till all of them were born. In the end, what happened was, so this lady, she was making dua to Allah, Allah, my sister has 10 boys and I have nothing. She kept on crying. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to her that, don't worry, I will give you a child. And she saw the dream, I'll give, but this child will supersede this 10. And this child is going to the most handsome man of the world. So after 10 boys from one mother, 11th was born to the mother of Yusuf alayhi salam, who was Yusuf. And next year another baby was born, Binyamin. That's why Yusuf अपने 100 भाइयों में सबसे छोटे थे. He was the youngest of all the brothers from the other mother. Brother from the other mother were all elder. He was the first one from the second. And of course, when he was born, so people could not put their eyes on him. And then when the second one, next year, Binyamin was born, and then the mother passed away. So, Yusuf alayhi salam was raised after that, and because everybody who would look at Yusuf alayhi salam was so handsome, so cute, that everybody wanted to hold Yusuf alayhi salam. So the mother of, so the aunt, who was a sister of Yaqub alayhi salam, she said to her father, to the father of Yusuf alayhi salam, I want this baby, I'll take care of this baby. Yaqub alayhi salam said no, not allowed. I said okay. So what she did was, she put some money into the Yusuf alayhi salam's pocket, or some bangles, or something expensive. Now they start looking, and she says, where is my bangle? I can't find my bangles. Everybody said. So they started searching. They found with Hazrat Yusuf alayhi salam. In their Shariat was, if the thief would serve the person for 1 year. So they said that thief to usko dena padega. So you have to give him to me. So that's how Yusuf alayhi salam lived for 1 year with his aunt. Because that's why Yusuf alayhi salam once said, जो भी मुझे मोहब्बत करता है उसको मुसीबत आती है, जिसने मुझसे मोहब्बत की उसको आया रहा. ने यही कहा था. Anybody who would love me, they would have, the father loved him, imagine the musibat came to his father. Mother loved him, mother passed away. Then Phuppi, the aunt, loved Yusuf alayhi salam, she also passed away. ठीक है ना? तो जो मुझसे मोहब्बत करेगा वो मुझसे अलग हो जाता है. Yusuf alayhi salam used to say this. Anybody who would love me, they would get separated from me. So his aunt also passed away. Now Yusuf alayhi salam came back to his father. So his father loved him very much, and he was in this situation. The brothers, they said that, we think that, the whole story is of Surah Yusuf. We have heard this probably. Or inshallah, when it comes, we will hear it again. Eventually, they made this planning, and then they separated Yusuf alayhi salam from his father, and the whole story takes place. So then eventually they came to Egypt. When they came to Egypt, some say that Yusuf alayhi salam, when they, I was saying that some say that Yusuf alayhi salam did not have a son, and so what happened was, बात जो आता उनका बेटा नहीं था कोई बेटी थी बात में बेटा बेटी भी नहीं थे they said that they had no son or a daughter and some say he had a daughter and the reason they say that what happened was when he and the reason when Yaqub alayhi salam and his wife and the 10 brothers came so they did sajda to Yusuf alayhi salam. तो यूसुफ अलैहिस्सलाम did not stand up for them. वो अपनी कुर्सी पे बैठे रहे. इस पर अल्लाह ताला ने कहा कि इनको बेटा नहीं दूंगा. He did not stand up for his father and mother. He was just sitting on his chair, on his throne. So because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, some say that because of this, I will not give you son for that reason. उनको ये कहा कि देखो तुम्हारे बनी सर पे हालात आएंगे लेकिन चूंकि अल्लाह के नबी थे और जानबूझ के नहीं किया था तो he did not do it intentionally for disrespect he did not forget but Allah told to Yusuf अलैहिस्सलाम तुम्हें औलाद नहीं दूंगा ताकि आगे चल के जब बनी इसराइल पे हालात आएंगे तुम्हारी औलाद पे नहीं आएंगे क्योंकि तुम औलाद ही नहीं है उनको इस तरह कवर कर लिया so you don't worry that you know Allah said Allah I have no children I'll not give you any child because Bani Israel will deviate so there will be no children of you in there who will deviate so in this way you don't have to worry about them anyway so this happened so Bani Israel came to this is how they came to Egypt they left their original place they usually was the Palestine in that area and then from there they came to this Egypt. So when they came over there, and they were living, and because at that time, that place was called Canaan, and there was nothing much over there, and the civilization, everything was with Egypt, Pharaoh, very famous. So this Aziz al-Misr liked Yusuf alayhi salam very much, and he was made the minister of treasury. Yusuf alayhi salam was actually a de facto ruler of Egypt. And the Aqbat means the Coptics of Egypt, they were living over there, and they had a lot of respect for Yusuf alayhi salam and his brothers and his family. They respected them very much, and they knew that these are very holy people. So there was a lot of respect for Yusuf alayhi salam, and of course for all of his brothers and his parents. So they lived over there for a comfortable life. Now what happened? The time started going by. So the children of these people, of these 12 brothers, they started slowly deviating from the right track. So when they started deviating, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala what happens is when a person starts deviating from the Quran, Hadith, from the orders of Allah, Allah puts the hatred in the local people. Any place where you live, if a nation, if the people, they deviate from the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the effect is this, there is hate, it develops the hate, the place where he lives. Any place where you live in. If a person disobeys the order of Allah, disobeying the order of Allah creates hatred. खुदा के हुक्म का असर होता है नफरत उस आदमी के बारे में पैदा होना ये खुदा के हुक्म न मानने की वजह से होता है It's the usul of hate. Why people hate? People, oh, nobody loves me, everybody hates me. सुना होगा ना लोग कहते हैं You must have heard it. Everybody hates me. Nobody loves me. Tayyib. If the kids come and tell you, tell them this usul. Everybody hates you because you're disobeying order of Allah. If you will obey Allah, everybody will love you. If you hate, everybody will hate you. If you disobey order of Allah, everybody will, will hate you. कोई मुझे चाहता ही नहीं, मेरी अटैचमेंट नहीं है, कोई मुझे चाहता ही नहीं है. Nobody loves me. Tell them इसलिए नहीं लव करते हैं कि तुम अल्लाह को नाराज कर रही हो, इसलिए लोग तुमको मोहब्बत नहीं करते हैं. Teach your kids and everybody, oh, in the school people are not treating me nice. So explain to them. This is what the Hadith is telling us. Don't tell them, oh, the people are bad. No, the people are, they cannot even control their own urine. How can they control the feelings against you? Hmm? Yes. So what happens? When a person disobeys Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the effect of that is people start hating him. First of all, the people who he lives, they will start hating him. His employer will start hating him. His, his relatives will start hating him. His family will start hating him. His own parents will hate him. His wife will hate him. His kids will hate him. His husband, if it's a woman, the husband will hate her. The children will hate her. Everybody will hate this individual when this man or the woman disobeys Allah. This is the usul of hatred and love. So the usul says. So what happened? This is what the Quran says in another ayah. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سَيَجْعَلُ لَهُمُ الرَّحْمَنُ وُدًّا. If you obey Allah, everybody will love you. Your enemies will love you. The place where you're saying, somebody was saying, oh, our funds for Islamophobia is we have only 5 million, and the people who are against the Islam, their funds are 125 million, so we will lose and they will win. So I asked him, what is the solution? He said, no, we need to have 200 million. ये हमारा इलाज क्या उनके दिमाग में आया. बहुत बड़े मौलवी साहब मुझे कह रहे थे बड़ी मस्जिद के, हमें 200 मिलियन जमा करने, आप हेल्प करें 200 मिलियन जमा करने की. You say that we should collect 200 million. हालांकि it doesn't matter if you forget 200 million, if you put $200 billion also, still the people will hate, because the hearts are not in the hands of the people, in the hands of Allah. قلوب العباد بين إصبعين الرحمن يقلب كيف يشاء. अल्लाह कहते हैं कि बंदों के दिल मेरे 2 उंगलियों के दरमियान है, जिस तरफ चाहे पलट लूं. तो 200 बिलियन से क्या कहते पलट जाएंगे. So the hatred comes from where? When a person disobeys Allah. Hadith, let me say in English. Hadith says, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قلوب العباد, the hearts of the people, بين إصبعين الرحمن, between the 2 fingers of Allah. كما يليق بجلاله. يقلب كيف يشاء. The way Allah wants, Allah will turn them. So what happens? So if a person starts obeying Allah, everybody will start loving him. Even the person who hates you will love you. Automatic. And when a person disobeys Allah, then the people will hate. People will start saying negative things. So what happened? So these people, they started disobeying Allah. And they started making Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, angry, making Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala angry. So what happened? When they start doing that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because let me re-emphasize, each disobedience of Allah is like a dirty smell on your body. If a person disobeys Allah, so it's like a filthy stink smell on your body. Second disobedience of Allah, another stink. Third disobedience of Allah, another stink. And keeps on disobeying Allah, so he becomes so stinky that nobody wants to come close to him. यानी ये खुदा को नाराज किया तो गोया यूं समझो कि पैखाना अपने जिस्म पे लगाया आपने, और नाराज किया और लगाया, और नाराज किया, पूरा जिस्म पूरा गू के अंदर लुत्फुत हो गया, तो कोई करीब नहीं आएगा इसके, यूं समझो, उससे बदतर है ये. That's why, first of all, we need to fix our aqidah properly. That the hatred and the love has nothing to do with the place where we live in. So stop complaining. Oh, people are like that, or the people are like this. The people themselves, they cannot control their own emotions. How can he control the emotions about you? Have you not seen that the people themselves, their own daughters, they don't love their own children? I mean, what about you? Have you not seen? If you look into the lives of the humanity, look at them and contemplate. Have you not seen that there is no true love between the parents and the children, and between the husbands and the wives, and between the brothers and the sisters? Everything's all fake. The love is, I mean, it's all give and take. It's all agharaz ki mohabbatein hain sari. So genuine will be, the genuine loves comes, my dear brothers, when a person obeys Allah. Then forget your relatives and the wife and the children and the parents. The unknown stranger will love you. Unknown stranger, they will also love you. You go into a store, they'll give you things for free. Rakh lo bhai. One person went to one store in Australia. He went bought all of this. So the cashier, the owner was sitting on the side. He said that from him don't take any money. Why? I don't take any money. That's it. But na jaan na pehchan कहता पैसे नहीं लेना इनसे. Take it. ये क्या है? पैसे नहीं लेना कहते don't take any money from it. तो अल्लाह की रहमत है. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts the love into the hearts of the unknown people. Forget about the known. Unknown people also will love you. इसलिए हमें जो आपके मुल्क के अंदर जो लिसानी तंजीमें हैं कि हम हक लेके रहेंगे, गुनाह किया हुआ है और क्या कह रहे हैं कि जनाब हमारा हक दो. गुनाह की हाँ लेके रहेंगे, डंडा लेके रहेंगे, ये होगा, जूते खा के रहेंगे. खुदा को नाराज करके आप क्या कहते हैं, आप लोगों के दिलों को खुश कर सकते हैं. तौबा करेंगे अल्लाह से, और अपने गुनाहों का इलाज किससे क्या है? अपने मुसीबतों का इलाज गुनाहों से कर रहा है. फरकावारियत, लसानी फरकावारियत, उससे वो उसका इलाज कर रहे हैं अपने गुनाहों का. कितनी बड़ी मुसीबत आएगी, कितनी बड़ी मुसीबत अब बढ़ जाती है. So the musibat increases when people they want to solve their problems, like in our country, they have because of the tongue. Everybody is Muslim, but because of the tongue they fight. They say, oh, he is not giving me my rights. He is not giving me my what I need to have. So this is the local people. मुकामी लोग क्यों इनसे नफरत करते हैं? इनकी खुदा की नाराजगी की वजह से. The local people hates the people from outside is because of their disobedience to Allah. जैसे यहाँ हुआ, like in this situation, why the Egyptians started hating Bani Israel? Because of the disobedience of Allah. And why, you think I'm making this up? Quran is saying. Look what Allah is saying. Allah is saying, يَسُومُونَكُمْ سُوءَ الْعَذَابِ. They would give you severe pain. Who? Bani Israel. Sorry, the Coptics are giving to the Bani Israel. Imagine, يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَكُمْ. What they would do is, if a baby is born, so the soldiers would come to the door, they go inside, they see the baby. If it is a boy, right over there, they take out the sword and cut his head and give the body back to the parents. Right in front of as soon as the baby is born, they take the baby. If it is girl, they leave it. If it is a boy, they take it immediately, like his few seconds baby, they chop his head off and give it back. يُذَبِّحُونَ أَبْنَاءَكُمْ وَيَسْتَحْيُونَ نِسَاءَكُمْ. Now what the Quran is saying, وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَاءٌ مِّن فِرْعَوْنَ عَظِيمٌ. Is this the ayah? And the Quran is saying, भाई बहुत बड़ी बला थी फिरौन की तरफ से. ये क्या कुरान है? कुरान क्या कह रहा है? وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَاءٌ مِّن فِرْعَوْنَ وَلَا مِن رَبِّكُمْ. This bala is from where? This musibah, this suffering is why? From your Rabb. It's not, Allah is not saying that ये फिरौन बला फिरौन की तरफ से आई, मेरे तुम्हारे रब की तरफ से आई. وَفِي ذَلِكُمْ بَلَا. This bala came because it came from your Rabb. So Allah is very merciful. Why He brought this bala? जब तुमने उसको नाराज किया तो फिर यही हुआ. When you disobeyed Him, this bala came. Quran is saying, هذا البلاء عشان أعمالك يا حبيبي. This is because of the actions what happened. This bala came. And the Quran is saying very clearly on this कि ये जो मुसीबत जो आई है, this came because of your actions which you did. When you started disobeying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this severe punishment came. Then the Quran says, when you obeyed Allah, so eventually Musa alayhi salam came, they did tawbah, and they came back towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then what Allah did to them? Now the second thing Allah is saying, देखो, एक तरफ तो बच्चों को ज़िबा किया जा रहा, on one side the boys are being slaughtered. And when they obeyed Allah, so what Allah did to them? فَرَقْنَا بِكُمُ الْبَحْرِ. We helped you in such a manner which is never to be in the whole earth. It happened. कायनात में कभी ये मंजर देखा नहीं. The heavens and the earth did not see this, that the sea is standing as a wall. यानी the sea, यानी समंदर की दीवार. कभी देखी आपने? Today, is there any technology which can stop the water like this, like a wall? From this musibat to this miracle happening with the same people. अल्लाह कहता है देखो गौर करो, एक तो तुम पे इतनी मुसीबत थी कि तुम्हारे बच्चों को ज़िबा कर रहे थे, और फिर उन्हें उसी पे हमने क्या किया, हमने समंदर को खड़ा कर दिया. पानी को खड़ा, कभी जिंदगी में देखा पानी खड़ा होते हुए? Have you ever seen water standing? And how much? There were 12 pathways, 12 corridors of water. 12 raste. On one side, this is a wall, and this wall is, I mean, how big this river Kulsum is? Imagine, let's say, 1,000, 100 meters, 10 stories high. That's 10-story high wall of water like this. You can make an aquarium with a glass, but can you stop the water? Is there any technology? You say, oh, water, stand up. Water will listen to you. And the amazing thing was, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, what He did was when He made the water like this standing up, so the rest of the other tribes, they were concerned about each other. So what happened? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made, how He made the water? Amazing way. He made the water such, from the bottom the water is coming, but when you come to this point, there are windows of water, like this. There are windows, and between the windows only this much water is there, and then the window. And the water is not, just like, it's like somebody, it is a wall, and there are windows in the middle, rectangular windows, and you could see your, all on the right side and the left side, you could see that all tribes are crossing this river, the sea, and with the windows in the on each other, on both sides. This never happened in the universe. Imagine that boys are being killed, and Allah is showing when they turn towards Allah. So Allah said, Allah did something which never happened to any creation. And they're walking through this, and the fishes are there, and the fishes are inside the water, and some fishes are on the ground, and they're walking pathway easy. That's why Muawiyah radiallahu anhu was the Qaisar, the king of Persia, no, not the Persian, the Roman Empire king. He sent a letter. He said that I want to ask you a question. Tell me that place on the earth in which the sun shone and then once in the lifetime, and then after that it never shined on that land again for the rest of the times. So when this question was came, Hazrat Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala anhu said that you have to ask Hibrul Ummah. Hibrul Ummah is Abdullah ibn Abbas. You have to ask him because he's the only one who can answer this. So when this question was, he said that Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala said this question to Hazrat Abdullah ibn Abbas. Abdullah ibn Abbas radiallahu ta'ala said the answer is very simple. He says that land when Bani Israel was crossing and which was open, the sun shone on that land. And once when the water became together, the sun never shone on that land till the day of judgment. बस इन्हीं के पास वो इल्म है कि जो समझ है ना उस पानी वो जगह सूरज की जहाँ करने एक मरतबा पड़ी उसका जब कभी पड़ी नहीं वो जब बनी इसराइल के जब रास्ता खोल दिया गया कि उन पर जो सूरज की करने पड़ी हैं उस जगह के ऊपर फिर क़यामत तक पड़ेंगी नहीं तो वापस पानी आ गया. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying that from this severe punishment to this severe rahmat from Allah. When you obey Allah, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helps you in an unseen manner. With faraqna bikum al-bahra. And Allah is saying, to come out of this musibah, what did Bani Israel did? Let's collect funds. Is this what they did? Oh, Fir'aun is doing so much. Let us do demonstrations. Did the Bani Israel said, let's demonstrate, let's create an organization, and let's, if they hit a brick, we'll throw wall. If they hit with us, we'll hit more hard with them. Read the Quran, what the Quran is telling us the answer. What the Bani Israel did, what kind of money or the power they had. And look how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala helped Bani Israel. Allah saying, without anything, they just turned toward Allah. And then Allah helped them in such a manner, never happened in the universe. Similarly, if the Ummah also will turn towards Allah in this manner, then the same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help. Like the way they helped Bani Israel. This is the reason Allah is telling us these stories so we can get this lesson from it. Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanakallah alhamdi. أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. Shall we do our zikr now? ठीक है. دس مرتبة قل والله بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد الله يا الله استغفر الله صلى الله عليه وسلم والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم إبراهيم عليه السلام الله عليه السلام داود عليه السلام حمزة رضي الله تعالى عنه علي رضي الله تعالى عنه فاطمة رضي الله تعالى عنها الحسن رضي الله تعالى عنه حسين رضي الله تعالى عنه حضرت عبد القادر الجيلاني رحمة الله عليه، معين الجيشي رحمة الله عليه، سلطان باهور رحمة الله، محي الدين ابن عربي رحمة الله عليه، إلياس صاحب، مولانا يوسف صاحب، مولانا شيخ صاحب رحمة الله عليه، مولانا شيخ صاحب رحمة الله عليه، واجد ريشة صاحب، محمد رسول صاحب، ويناسب नाना को नानी को अच्छा रहमतुल्लाह सबको उसका सवाब पहुंचा استغفر الله الذي لا وأتوب إليه أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. एक सवाल है, there's a question, for example, if a person with his wife, if he does not call her, talk to her at all, will this relationship continue? Let's say he's living in another country, he's over here, there's no call, there's no message, there's no talking, there's no communication. So this ishq, will it continue? Can this love continue? Unless there is a communication, there is a remembrance of each other, this love will increase. आपस में जितनी ताल्लुक बढ़ेगा, रोजाना की बातचीत से मोहब्बत बढ़ेगी. अगर कोई बातचीत ना हो तो खत्म हो जाती है, बिल्कुल खत्म. ऐसे ही अल्लाह से अगर रोजाना आदमी खुदा को याद न करे तो ताल्लुक खत्म हो जाता है, बेगानगी पैदा हो जाती है. इसलिए रोजाना अकेले खुदा के साथ बैठना, इज्तिमाई भी और अकेले भी. So if there is no communication between Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and us, then what happens? The relationship gets lost. इसलिए रोजाना इसमें भी बैठे और individually बैठे. We should sit over here and we should sit alone also with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that our love of Allah should increase. A person can cry because of his sins. A person can cry because of his loss of the loved one. People cry of different reasons in front of Allah. Some people cry in front of Allah because he lost somebody or she lost somebody. Because of the pain they cry. Sometimes people cry out of the sins Allah which have committed. And there's a crying of Allah. एक रोना है खुदा की इश्क और याद में. And one is the crying in the love of Allah. One is a person who يبكي بسبب عشقه مع الله, حبه مع الله. هذا البكاء. This is one crying is crying in the love of Allah. This is called عرض الأمانة. لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. الله لا إله إلا 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 الله 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 لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله 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 محب الفقراء والغرباء وسيلتنا في الدارين صاحب قاب قوسين محبوب رب المشرقين ورب المغربين جد الحسن والحسين مولانا ومولى الثقلين أبي القاسم محمد بن عبد الله نور من نور الله يا أيها المشتاقون بنور جماله صلوا عليه وآله وأصحابه وسلموا تسليما صلى الله على حبيبه سيدنا محمد وآله وسلم 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 صلى الله على حبيبه سيدنا محمد وآله صلى الله على حبيبه سيدنا محمد وآله وسلم صلى الله على حبيبه سيدنا محمد وسلم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين اللهم اجزي عنا وعن والدينا أفضل ما جازيت به نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن قومه اللهم احشرنا تحت لوائه وأوردنا حوضه واسقنا من يده الشريفة شربة هنيئة لا نظمأ بعدها أبدا واجمع بيننا وبينه كما آمنا به ولم نره ولا تفرق بيننا وبينه حتى تدخلنا مدخلا. اللهم اشف مرضانا ومرضى المسلمين. اللهم اشف الوالد والوالد والآل وأم الآل واشفني واشف العائلة كلهم أجمعين واشف الحاضرين والسامعين. اللهم ارزق شفاء كاملا عاجلا يا رب العالمين. اللهم اشف عبد الملك وعزير وياسر وجميع من أوصانا يا رب العالمين. رب هب لي من الصالحين واجعل لي لسان صدق في الآخرين واجعلني من ورثة جنة النعيم. ولا تخزني يوم يبعثون يوم لا ينفع مال ولا بنون إلا من أتى الله بقلب سليم. اللهم اجعل في قلبي نورا وفي سمعي نورا وفي بصري نورا وفي لحمي نورا وفي دمي نورا وفي عظمي نورا وفي عصبي نورا وفي لساني نورا وفي شعري نورا وعن يميني نورا وعن يساري نورا من أمامي نورا خلفي نورا فوقي نورا من تحتي نورا. اللهم اجعل لي نورا واعطني نورا وعظم لي نورا واجعل في نفسي نورا واجعلني من الذين ينورون عبادك يا رب العالمين. اللهم ربنا أتمم لنا نورنا واغفر لنا إنك على كل شيء قدير. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. صلى الله على سيدنا مولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.
بلغ العلا بكماله كشف الدجى بجماله حسنت جميع خصاله صلوا عليه وآله صلوا عليه وآله آقا तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का हैबत से गिरा तेरी हर बुत बुत खाने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का तपती हुई रेतों पर पढ़ा कलमा बिलाल तेरा तपती हुई रेतों पर पढ़ा कलमा बिलाल तेरा अंदाज़ निराला है हर परवाने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का। जिस जिस को पिलाई है मेरे आका ने हाथों से, जिस जिस को पिलाई है मेरे आका ने हाथों से, वो भूल गया रास्ता हर एक में खाने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का। शाहकार है कुदरत का तेरा हुस्न मेरे आका, शाहकार है कुदरत का तेरा हुस्न मेरे आका। उसने यूसुफ है सदका आका तेरे खजाने का, आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का। तू चूम ले होठों को काफूरी होठों से, तू चूम ले होठों को काफूरी होठों से, खुद रब ने सिखाया है अंदाज जगाने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का। महबूब न गम करना सीरा हश्र तू उम्मत का, महशर तो बहाना है तेरी शान दिखाने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का। जिसको भी मिला टुकड़ा हसनैन के नाना से, मंगता वो बना साहिर सुल्तान ज़माने का आका तेरे आने से रंग बदला ज़माने का। Food is